What is going on, people? DBNK, you know what it is. You know what it is. Like, comment, leave a subscription. Listen, ain't that some shit? Imagine being locked up for 25 years, man. Wrongfully accused of murder. You're locked up for 25 years, wrongfully accused of murder. And then you finally get acquitted after 25 years. That's a quarter of a century. Yeah? Quarter of a century. What? Where was your life at 25 years old? How much had you lived by that time? Now imagine being locked up for 25 years, wrongfully accused. Imagine turning 25 and getting locked up for 25 years. You coming out at 50. You missing out on 3 decades. 35, 45, damn near 3 decades. Gone. Yeah? Last time you was out, we were talking about Y2K. You know what I mean? That is crazy. Last time you was out, there's people who are 25 years old right now that weren't born when you went in. That's crazy. And then you get acquitted after being wrongfully accused of murder, right? And you get a $1 million settlement from the state. $1 million, 25 years, you get $1 million. Apparently, they give you, if you're wrongfully convicted of a crime you didn't commit, you're entitled to $50,000 for every year you spend locked up. $50,000, bro. That's not enough. You gotta double that, if not triple. You got at least double that shit. You don't know my potential within that 25 years that I spent there. I could have been earning $100,000 a year, and you gonna give me $50,000 a year? Come on, man. Come on, respect me. Anyways, let's get into this and see just what exactly happened to this. Let's listen to these guys.
A man who spent a quarter century behind bars for a murder he was wrongfully convicted of has now been ordered to repay more than $1 million to the state. It is part of a Court of Appeals decision after a separate lawsuit paid him more than $7 million. This is a story I have been following for years. Back in 2017, our cameras were rolling as Desmond Ricks learned he would be released from prison. And today I talked with his former attorney and a state lawmaker in response to this latest move by judges.
For roughly 25 years, Desmond Ricks was an inmate in state prison where he always maintained his innocence for the crime of murder. And then in 2017, a judge ordering his release, finding he had been wrongfully convicted. Ricks was among those who received $50,000 a year for every year of incarceration under the state's wrongful imprisonment compensation.
Bro, $50,000 a year, that ain't nothing, bro. That ain't nothing. $50,000 a year. Listen, like I said, do you know, you can't quantify the amount of money I could have made. You know what I mean? Nigga, $50,000 a year? So I spent 25 years in prison and you're gonna give me $1.2 million after I spent 25 years in prison because you, the state, sent me there wrongfully, and you gonna just give me guys, and now they want that money back because you had already received $7 million from a third party. How you gonna put a price on my freedom? You took 25 years of my freedom away from me. Now you want to put a price on it. You asking for $1 million back. What are we doing? Make it make sense, y'all. Come on now.
An act, also known as WICA. For Ricks, it amounted to $1.25 million from the state.
Desmond Ricks endured the worst kind of harm and suffering you can imagine.
One of his attorneys at the time was Wolf Mueller.
25 years in a cage for a crime he did not commit. The compensation under the state, which was $1.25 million, doesn't come close to the harm that he suffered.
Ricks then won over $7.5 million in a lawsuit against the city of Detroit that accused the detectives
25 years in a cage for a crime he did not commit. The compensation under the state, which was $1.25 million, doesn't come close to the harm that he suffered.
Ricks then won over $7.5 million in a lawsuit against the city of Detroit that accused the detectives on his case of corruption. That's when the state wanted him to repay their $1.25 million to the WICA fund. Ricks then won over $7.5 million in a lawsuit against the city of Detroit that accused the detectives on his case of corruption. That's when the state wanted him to repay their $1.25 million to the WICA.
Doesn't come close to the harm that he suffered.
Ricks then won over $7.5 million in a lawsuit against the city of Detroit that accused the detectives on his case of corruption. That's when the state wanted him to repay their $1.25 million.
Listen, man. You sent me to jail for 25 years. You sent me to jail for 25 years of my life. My grown life. My life is gone. I missed the prime of my life. It's gone. Can't get it back. You offer me $50,000 a year for every year I was incarcerated wrongfully, because of some dirty cops, right? I sue the city, right? I sue the city because them dirty cops got me locked up for 25 years wrongfully for a crime I didn't commit. Wrongfully, yeah. I get what was it, $7.5 million? I get $7.5 million because some corrupt city cops got me locked up, convicted for a crime I didn't commit. Right? I managed to get $7.5 million out of the city, and now all of a sudden the state says, wait. You already got $7.5 million. Give us our $1 million back. What? How you putting the price on the 25 years I lost? How? I should be able to sue every single person who is responsible for me being wrongfully incarcerated for 25 years, not 2.5 years, not 2 years, not 2 months, not 12.5 years, 25 years. I should be able to sue every single person who pushed for my conviction, be it the city, be it the them cops individually, be it the state. Everybody can get it as far as I'm concerned. And if I can get $5 million from each and every one of them, let me get it. Let me get it. Ain't no way you gonna put a price on the freedom I lost, the freedom you took from me. There is no way in hell you can put a price on that. Y'all want to talk I'm double dipping. Hell yeah, I'm double dipping. You took 2.5 decades of my life away from me. 2.5. The year 2000. When oh, guys, this is ridiculous. Actually, just thinking about this, just hearing that the state wants $1.25 million of a million back, just because this guy was wrongfully accused and he sued the city, and the city gave him $7.5 million. Now the state says, give us our $1.25 million back. How are you putting a price on time I lost because of your wrongful conviction? Because your officers were corrupt, dirty, and had me locked up for 25 years for a crime I didn't commit. How do you know that within that span of 25 years, I wouldn't have been able to make 25 million? Make 10 million? 12, 15, who knows? But let's cap it off at 25. How are you gonna put a price on? Guys, y'all know 25 years. Some people don't make it to 2 years old. Some people don't make it to 10 years old. Some people don't make it to 20 years old. And you don't lock me up for a crime I didn't commit for 25 years. And then when you eventually let me out, because you realize I shouldn't have never been locked up. Now the state says, oh, you already got 7.5 million. Give us back our one and a quarter million back. Absolute tomfoolery. That's a law that is the trashiest law known to man. I want to know who made that law. The fact that if you get paid by a third party, you shouldn't get no compensation from the state, or vice versa, whatever it is. I want to know who made that law. That's the transparency I'm looking for now. Who made that law? I bet he was racist. He, she, I don't know. Whoever it was, I bet they were racist. I bet you.
To the WICA fund. The law requires that payback is done if a third party issues compensation. In the case of Ricks, it was the city of Detroit. Ricks sued to keep the WICA money, but the state court said he could not keep it.
This was a bipartisan bill.
State Senator Joe Bellino from Monroe says the matter is more involved than simply paying out WICA funds to those wrongfully convicted and moving on. To be specific, after the state's fund ran low years ago, he says it's been even more critical to get money returned in the event Ricks and others also wrongfully convicted file suits against municipalities and police agencies and win.
There's no way in the world I would vote to let someone get that money and then get 7.5 million or whatever this person got in a law settlement. The state is not a huge bucket where people.
This motherfucker here, who is he? Whoever he is, they said his name, they said his position. Is he governor? Whoever the fuck he is. This dude here is a part of the problem. Let him, his son, his nephew, his daughter be locked up for 25 years after being wrongfully accused. I want to see if he still keeps the same rhetoric. That's what I want to know. One of his kids, his nephews, his brothers, sisters, cousins' kids. Let one of them kids get locked up wrongfully for murder. 25 years gone down the drain, and then they get a settlement from the city, and then they get a settlement from the state. Let him. I dare him to be talking this same shit. I don't care if the city's bankrupt. Let's talk about why the city's bankrupt before you come running at my pockets. You're trying to run my pockets. That's what you're trying to do. You just as bad as them dirty ass cops. Who is this? Just as bad as them dirty ass cops. OGDBNK, like, comment, leave a subscription. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? You slimy ass. Ugh.
People should be able to double dip every time there's a mistake made.
In this case, Rick's lawsuit was against the city of Detroit and 2 officers and accused them of falsifying evidence involving bullets back in '92. With dozens of similar cases, Mueller says it's time for WICA rules to be amended to allow former inmates to keep that money and any else they receive in a lawsuit.
No amount of money can make up for the harm of a quarter century and your entire adult life lost. So to say that the state paid you $50,000 per year, that's peanuts compared to the harm.
Also, Ricks previously pointed out that he not only lost years of his life, but the chance to watch his 2 daughters grow up. At this point,
How do you make up for that? 25 years. They were babies when you got locked up. right? Did you see his mugshot from when he got locked up? He couldn't have been more than 30 years old. Meaning, if he had kids, at most they'd have been like 10 years old. Whole teenage gone. 10 years of that adult life from 20 to 30 gone. I'm sure they got their own kids now. Last time you saw them and spent time with them, they were kids. Couldn't have been more than 10 years old. And you gone for 25. Imagine that. Imagine your son, your daughter was 10 years old and you get wrongfully accused of murder, locked up 25 years. By the time you get out, guess how old your daughter, your son is? 35 years old. Last time you spent time with that kid, 10 years old. You get out, 35 years old. You don't know what they was thinking about you, them 25 years you were locked up. You pleading your innocence. I don't know whether they believed him. Like, what kind of resentment would they hold? What kind of relationship would you have? It's not the same. Not even that, it's not the same. God knows what it could have been. And that's what you're trying to, that's what the state is trying to put a price on. You dirty, conniving motherfuckers. I'm appalled. I won't lie. I'm appalled.
Efforts to amend the law have not succeeded, but they remain underway. I also reached out to another attorney for Ricks for an interview, and am still awaiting a response. A man who spent a quarter century behind bars for a murder he was wrongfully...
Bro. I don't know if this is a law throughout the United States that every state upholds, but yo, you can't lock me up for 25 years and then accuse me of double dipping. You can't wrongfully lock me up, convict me for a crime I didn't commit, throw away the key, lose it for 25 years, and then when I come out seeking vengeance from the city and the state, you accuse me of double dipping. Matter of fact, what's happening to them two cops? Are they still alive? Because if I spend 25 years of my life wrongfully accused because of your punk asses, you two dirty ass cops, what you been doing the past 25 years? Are you still alive? If you are, your ass better go and get locked up too, because you deserve a 25-year inside there. I don't care how old you are, but as far as I'm concerned, you deserve to spend 25 years of your lives in there too. See how you like it. We ain't gotta accuse you or anything, because we know you dirty. Oh my goodness. Good Lord. Double dipping. You took 25 years of a man's life and you're accusing him of double dipping. Dirty ass motherfuckers. Ain't that some shit? DBNK, like, comment, leave a subscription. Let's grow this community, y'all. Peace, love, and hope. Peace, love, and happiness. Harmony too. Have a great year. It's January 2026. I don't know what resolutions y'all got, but listen, make the most of the year.